Hello everyone, and welcome to another Joyful Heart beading tutorial. I'm Mona West. I apologize, it's been a while since I've done one. Long story short, I've had some computer issues, but I have a new computer, and so now I'm back to making videos. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make a very nice earring. Very easy to do, very quick, but has pretty nice results. It's called the Tangier, and as you can see, I've really enjoyed it. I've made a whole bunch of them. I just wanted you to see this, that it looks really good in a lot of different colors. It looks good in just a single color like this. It also looks good in if it has multiple colors in it. Just play with it and make whatever, whatever beads you have or whatever colors you really like. I think it'll probably turn out well. But this evening I'm going to show you how to make, I'll get these others out of the way, to make the purple one. So I'll bring you in a little closer here. So this is the one we're going to make in purple. So I'll give you the supplies and we'll get started. As always, the supply list will also be down below in the comments section. Okay, for this project we're going to need some drop beads, and that's just what they're called, Japanese drop beads. They're 3.4 millimeters, and tonight I'm going to be using metallic dark purple bronze, so that's those. These are size 11 seed beads, transparent magenta lined matte transparent amethyst. It's kind of a long name. These are also Japanese. Try to use the Japanese beads rather than Polish beads, because you really need them to be fairly regular. If you have irregular beads, you're going to need to do a lot of culling because you want them to be fairly uniform in size. So if possible, I would use the Japanese seed beads and make sure you have ones that are fairly uniform. And then these are size 15 seed beads. These are a metallic brown seed bead. They're also a Japanese seed bead. And then you're going to need 2 4 millimeter fire polish beads. These are iris purple, and this is for one earring. So for 2 earrings, you would need to double that and have 4 millimeter. And then for each earring, you will need 1 6 millimeter fire polish bead, also in the iris purple. And then in addition to that, you will need beading thread. I am using Fireline. Once I start talking about fire polish, that's all I say. Fireline, and this is 6 pound, and a beading needle, whatever your favorite size is. This is a bent and well-loved one. I think it's probably an 11. And that is all you will need. Get yourself, you won't need a huge amount of thread for this, but say a wingspan. So go ahead and get your supplies and we'll get started. I wanted to give you a closer look at this earring before we start working on it, so I can give you a little explanation. Basically what we're doing is peyote stitch. We're going to do several rounds of peyote stitch. If you've done that before, then you'll know what we're working on. If not, it's very simple peyote, so it'll be a short explanation. And then the drops go around the outside. Now, a word about the drops. They're fairly irregular in terms of the top. Some are very narrow at the top and some are very wide. So you want to pick and choose, and you want to get the widest ones you can for around the outside here. And then you want the narrowest top that you can for both the top and the bottom. And this will make more sense as we go along, but I just want to mention that because both here and the two at the bottom, we're fitting them in between other beads. They don't have like a slot of their own. Can't think of how to explain that, but anyway, it'll work better if those are quite narrow up at the top, and these, it's because they're fitting between the peyote, it works better if you have a wider top, because they'll fill that space better. All right, so let's get started. All right, first off, we are going to take 32 of the size 11 seed beads. Once you have your 32 beads on, then you just need to tie yourself a knot. You don't need a super long tail, just enough so that you can weave it in once you're done. All right, there we go. All right, so now you have a ring like this. So what you do next, and this is the peyote part, and one thing I want to explain is that with peyote, this is actually the first 2 rounds, because you only use half the beads the first time around, and you use the other half the second time around. So this is considered the first 2. So what we're doing now technically is considered the 3rd round. And what you do is you're going to pick up a bead, and then you skip the first bead and you go through the second. And pull it tight. And this is what you will have. You can see that I have 2 beads sitting side by side, and that's what you want. So we're going to continue this all the way around, and you're going to be skipping a bead and then going through a bead, skipping a bead, going through a bead. So I'm going to pick up another bead, and now I'm going to skip this bead that we're coming, the next bead out after the one we're coming out of, and go up through the next one. Need to shorten my tail up a little bit. All right, so now you can see I have 2 of them sitting side by side again. I'm going to pick up another bead. I'm going to skip the next one and then go skip this one and then go through the next one. When they're in a round like this, sometimes it helps to kind of bend the circle a little bit so that you can get better access to the beads. Sometimes when they stack up right tight to each other, it can be hard to get in them. Okay, so now we have 3 sets of 2 beads. Pick up another bead, and now I'm going to skip the next one and go into the one after that. So we're going to be adding 16 beads in this round, because there are a total of 32, and we're going to be using every other bead. So skip one, go through the next one. And you'll notice how I'm kind of hanging on to this circle here. That's so you want to keep a nice even tension with peyote. And that's a good way to do it is, you know, at this stage, there's just not a whole lot to hold on to. So you just put your thumb kind of over the work and it'll hold it nice and stiff. So I'm going to skip one and go through the next one. I'm trying to keep it so that you can still see it pretty well while holding on to it. All right. There you can start to see kind of the work take shape. Pick up another bead, skip one, go through the next. Pull it snug. If they don't line up nicely next to each other, you can kind of take the tip of your needle and just kind of nudge it into place. All right, I've got another bead. I'm going to skip one and go up through the next. Skip one and go up through the next. Just keep your eye on the bead. Make sure that they are kind of getting into place so that they're sitting right. The two beads are sitting right next to each other. That's really about all you have to watch for other than your tension on this round. Skip a bead, go through the next. Got myself a little knot. There we go. They almost kind of snap into place a lot of time. Skip a bead and then go up through the next. Skip a bead and go through the next one. Did I skip two? Yep, I tried to skip two. That's an easy thing to do, so keep your eye on it. If you get to the end and you I'll kind of show you how to tell if you don't have the right number of beads at the end. You can tell it somewhere you must have skipped one, an extra one. Right, skip a bead and go through the next. All right, we're quite a bit of the way around, just a few left. Skip one and go through the next. Skip one, go through the next. You see how I just kind of put my thumb on it? That kind of flattened it and made it so that it sat right next to its partner from the first round. All right, we're almost there. You can see we have just two beads left. We're coming out of this one. There are two left, so that means I've definitely got the right number of beads and I haven't skipped any. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go through the last bead. And now I'm going to go up through the first bead in the second round. You see that? So I've gone through our last bead in this round and then up through the first bead from the last round. And that's called stepping up if you haven't done that before. So now we are in position to start the next round, which is going to be our drop beads. Get my tail out of the way one more time here. Get myself in position. Now here is one of the drop beads, and you can see the top here is fairly wide, and that's, bring it in nice and close, and that's what we want for this round. That one's out of position a little bit, so I'm going to push it back into position. Now you can see where we're going to be putting these drop beads is in between each of these gaps. And you can see those gaps are pretty good size, and that's why I suggest you kind of go through your drop beads and pull out the ones with the widest tips. And at this point, you'll notice it's still round, but don't worry. It's going to look that way, and in the next couple steps it's going to start getting that elongated look that the finished earring will have. So now we're going to just do this for a total of 7 times. So there's 1, got my tail thread caught a bit. There's 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Okay, for this next stitch, instead of putting another drop bead on, we're going to pick up 3 more of the 11-0 seed beads, and then we're going to go through the next bead that's sticking out and pull it tight. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom of our earring. So you can see it's starting to kind of take on that shape. All right, so we got the bottom. Now we're going to put on another 7 of the drop beads. So we're just going from one of the beads that are sticking out to the next. There's 2. 3. It's got a skinny top to it. Set that one aside for using at the top and bottom. 4. 5. 6. And the last one. Sorry about that. I ran out of space on my my card on my video camera and had to take some things off, but I'm back. All right, so I was in the process of weaving my thread back from this side to this side. So I'm here now. All I have to do is step up to here, and then I'm going to go up through 3 beads so that I am coming out of the top bead like that. All right. Now here's the sequence you're going to put on your needle next. I'm going to pick up one of the 11-O's, one of the drop beads, and then 3 11-O's, 3 more, then another drop bead, and then 1 more of the 11-O's. So there's an 11-O, a drop bead, 3 11-O's, a drop bead, and 1 more 11-O. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go back through that top bead through the other side. So you're making a circle. All right, and this is what you'll have. Okay, now we need to get up to the middle. See across the top here, they won't lay straight yet, but there are three beads across the top here. We need to come out the middle one again, because we're going to make the part that our ear wire goes in. So I'm coming out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up through the seed bead next to it and the drop bead. And turn my work over here. And then up through 2 of the seed beads. Pull it tight. Now we're going to add on 7 of the 11-O seed beads. And now we're going to go through this top bead on the other side, so again making a circle. See, I've got my finger over it there to kind of keep it firm. All right, now, so we've got the top completed, and what we're going to do now is it's really important to reinforce this, so I'm going to go back up through that top circle of beads. Went through about 3 that time, go through another 3. And then I've got 1 more. And now I'm going to weave my way back down to the main body. So I'm going to go down through on a diagonal, pull everything tight. It's a little screw wacky there, but all right, now I need to get down to this inner circle. So my thread's coming out here. So I'm just going to go on a diagonal till I am coming out of one of the beads that is sticking out. And for this round, what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these gaps with 15-O's, and we're going to do it down the side until we get to here, and then we're going to finish this area, and then we'll come back up. So first part is just to fill in these little tiny 15-O's in between each of the, you can see how the beads go in and out. Well, we're going to be filling in those gaps with the 15-O's. So we put one in, go through the next bead that's sticking out. And the next one. As you know, I'm new to making videos and I'm kind of experimenting, so bear with me. I'm trying a different placement of my camera. Let's see how this works. If I'm able to keep things a little clearer and a little easier for me to see what I'm doing while I'm making the video. Just trying things to see what works best. All right, we're almost to the bottom. And I'm going to go, kind of my goal here is I want to get over to here so that I can come down to here and make the dangles. So this will be my last one. All right, now it's a simple matter. If I can hold this up close enough for you to see, of I just go over here to the next one, and then I'm going to come out like this, so just before that central bead in the dangle. Now I'm going to pick up a drop bead, making sure that I get one of the ones with a narrow top, and I'm going to go through just one bead and pull, and it'll kind of snap into place. And pick up another one, go through, that bead and the next one, pull, and that one will snap in place. So now we have the bottom done. All right, I've got a bit of a knot here, so I'm going to take the time to pull it out. For some reason, this last couple days, I have been the queen of knots. All right, there we go. Now, I am going to have to weave my way back to where I need to be. So I am here, and I'm going to go back up to the bead next to it. Pull it through. Now I'm going to resume putting the little brown beads all the way the rest of the way around. See where I am. All right, I'm going to have to go back up through this brown one and down through the next one, and that actually is what's going to put me in position. And it's kind of hard to tell you how to weave your way over to the right place. You kind of just look at it and go, all right, I'll go up here and down here and kind of get back to where you need to be. That's just kind of an experience thing. And as I said, there's not a lot of different things. You kind of do the same thing over and over, just using different beads. This doesn't take very long, fortunately. These are very light earrings. They're really nice to wear. All right, couple more. Almost there. One thing I will mention, oh, I just did it. It's real easy because of all these drop beads around the outside. It's really easy to get your needle or your thread, excuse me, caught on them. I'm sure I did this on purpose just so I could show you. Caught on them, and you have to do this. About the only thing you really have to be careful of with this is not to do that. If it gets a lot of shape like this did, because I was just pulling on it, it's pretty easy to get it back where it needs to be. Okay, so we're almost done. All we have left is to put on the dangle. That'll be next. All right, what you need to do is to get yourself back to the middle. So again, we're going to weave our way back. And since this is peyote, I'm kind of going on the diagonal. And I want to be coming out of the 15-0 that is right in the middle. So that'll be that one. You can just go down from your top. So I'm going to go down, down, and then down through this 15-0. All right, now my 4mm fire polish, 6mm, another 4mm you put on your needle. And now I'm going to go down to the 15-0 that is directly opposite it. So just look at the bottom at your dangle and see which one is right above that. I'm coming out of this side of my 15-0, so I'm going to go in through the same side. Turn my work a little bit. I'm trying to make it so you can still see it, but so I can do it. All right, pull that. And once again, they've gotten wound around. There we go. Now you're going to go back up through those beads again, 4mm, 6mm, and 4mm. And you're going to pull the whole thing tight. And now you're going to go through your 15-0 again, going the opposite way. And then go off on the diagonal a couple beads. And you are done. All you will have left is to tie off, make a couple of half hitches and tie off, and then you can go back and weave in your tail thread. and you will be done. That's all there is to it. Like I said, it's a pretty quick and easy earring to make. I think that's why it was so easy for me to make so many of them, because they're fun and not challenging, and if you're experienced, and even if you're beginner, they're pretty easy earring to make, but quite impressive looking, quite nice. So I hope you enjoyed this project. Join me again. I hope to have another video up again pretty soon, and I really enjoy spending this time making these videos, and hope you enjoy watching them. Thank you very much.